bikers. Okay. What is up, my blue collar brethren? Chino here from the AB Garage. Back with another vlog for you guys. I just got my bike back 2 days ago, and I thought I had recorded a vlog on the way back home from getting the bike. But I'm an idiot and did not have my camera rolling. I thought I had it turned on and I was wrong. So I had about a 20-minute conversation that I was just talking to myself instead of the camera and you guys. So that's lost and gone forever. But the bike was in the shop, getting new tires put on it. Because as you know, if you listen to my first blog, I planning a big vacation in September. Oh, and I'm trying to get the bike ready to ride a couple thousand miles through multiple states, make sure that it makes it and I don't have to have it towed home, and I don't have to ride in the back of a tow truck to get back home, because that does not sound like a good time to me. So, I just wanted to talk to you guys today about the different things that I'm doing to try and make sure that this vacation goes off without a hitch. The first thing being was getting the oil changed in my bike. And if you watch my oil change video, you know I did that about a month or so ago. Got it all swapped out, and I'm not sure what was in it when I changed it, because I hadn't changed the oil in it yet. But I swapped it out with I think it was 2050 full synthetic. Like I said, if you watch the oil change video, I've got a link there to the kit. I'll post it again down in the description of this video. But got all the fluids changed in this, and hopefully I put on enough miles on it on the way down there that I'll have to change it again when I get back. I think the first day is like 500 miles or something. And then the next day is going to be about 300 miles. So, 800 miles in 2 days. Yeah, I should need an oil change when I get back. Changing the fluids, and then I had wanted to change the tires on the bike almost after I bought it. They still had a little bit of tread life left in them, but it was getting pretty close. And like I said, with riding as many miles as I plan on riding for this trip, I just wanted to make sure that they were ready and good to go, and especially where I'm going, there's a lot of curvy roads and whatnot. So the tires I went with are the Michelin Commander 3s, the touring I'll post a link down in the description to those too. But they had the best ratings online out of all the tires that I looked at. They were highly recommended by Revzilla, J&B Cycles, and pretty much anyone that rides a big touring bike like this. So they should be good for, I've read, they should be good for up to 25,000 miles. So you're going to pay a pretty penny for them. But if you get 25,000 miles out of them, I'd say that that's worth it. I mean, that's a lot of riding. And up here in northern Indiana, we only ride, 7-8 months out of the year if we're lucky. So you guys in the southern states, that might be good for 2 seasons, a season or 2 for you guys, but that'll be probably 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 up here for us. Got the fluids changed, tires done. Mechanically, the bike is pretty sound, so I haven't done anything else with it. The other things that I'm getting ready to do or purchase is the right gear. Now, I don't usually take my bike out when it's raining, so I never had any rain gear. Occasionally, we'll get caught in a freak storm. I check the weather before I go out. But occasionally, we'll get caught in a freak storm, but I'm usually not that far from home, so it's not that bad. But if I'm going to be on the bike for a week straight, odds are I'm going to run into a rainstorm here and there. So I went out and I bought me and my old lady some really nice rain gear. In the past, I had some cheaper quality rain gear, and this stuff is really nice, and I'll post a link to the gear that I got too. I hope that I don't have to use it, but if I do need it, it's better to have it than not having it. So I went out and got some rain gear. Other things you need to make sure that you have is a helmet, because like I said in my last vlog, being in Indiana, I don't have to wear a helmet if I choose not to. A couple of the states that I'm riding through do have mandatory helmet laws. So getting yourself a helmet, if you don't have one already, would be highly advisable. And I went with this full face helmet off of Amazon, and it was a cheap option. And that's about the extent of the pros on it. The cons are these damn shields don't exactly fit the best. I put this darker one on today. I did have the clear one on, and hell, it just rattled all over the place. Like, it didn't fit the helmet very well. This darker one, so far, it seems like it's fitting pretty good. And it looks dark on the outside, but inside it's really not that bad. So I think I'm going to keep this dark one on it. But yeah, get yourself a helmet. A lot of this stuff, guys, you should already have. Like I said, I didn't have the rain gear because I try not to ride in the rain. Not that I'm a pussy, I've done it numerous times. If I'm just riding to work, or butting around town, if it's raining outside, odds are I'm not gonna hop on the bike, because if you've ever been caught in a rainstorm, it's pretty fucking miserable. But most of the stuff you guys should have. But if you're planning a big trip and trying to come up with a list of things that you need, hopefully all this helps you out. I also went, oh, you're welcome. I also went with the full face helmet because wind fatigue is a real thing. If you got a half shell or a 3/4 helmet, you're just getting blasted in the face all day with wind. By the time you get to where you're at, you are going to be exhausted. So I went with the full face to try and prevent that, because yeah, the ride is a majority of the journey, but I'd also like to be able to relax and, you know, spend some time in the hot tub sipping on a whiskey at the end of the day, smoking a cigar, you know, enjoy my vacation, not just go out riding and then come home and crash. So that's another reason why I went with the full face. I already had a leather jacket, and I wear that usually when it's chilly outside. But I don't think that I'm taking that on the vacation with us, because we're heading down there in the middle of September. So the weather should be fairly decent. Yeah, that's just extra room on the bike that I can save by not taking it. What I will be taking though is I have a vest that, you know, keeps my core pretty warm. I'll have a flannel or two and some thermal underwear. So when we start heading up into the mountains, I'll be probably swapping out layers fairly often. So I will have stuff to layer up. Just in case it gets chilly, but I am not taking my leather jacket. It'd also be a good idea to have a good selection of gloves. 9 times out of 10 when I'm riding, I've got my shorty gloves on. When it gets chilly, I've got full fingered leather gloves too, and then for the really cold weather, I've got some thick insulated gloves that I can throw on if I need to. So I've got 3 different sets of gloves that I'll be taking as well. For my legs, I've got, like I said, my thermal underwear that I'm taking, and then I bought a brand new pair of chaps that I can roll up fairly small that I'll be taking as well. Now there's a lot of guys that don't like the chaps because they say that they don't protect you, which they're not wrong there. You got your crotch and your ass fully exposed, so if you do go down, you know, odds are you're gonna scuff your ass up. But they are nice to insulate your legs and keep your legs warm, and they do provide a little bit of protection. So I've got a pair of chaps that I'm taking as well. I believe that's about it for the gear that I'm going to be taking on this trip. The next thing you want to think about is security for your bike. I've seen some guys put alarm systems on their bike. I've read mixed reviews about that. What I'm going with is a brake lock. It just slides into one of the holes on your oh, that's cute. Right. Wave at the bikers. Okay. But the brake lock, it just slides into one of the holes on your rotors and has a key, and it prevents anybody from, you know, stealing your shit. Now, some of them have alarms on them. I'm not going to go with one with an alarm. Just because I've heard that sometimes those malfunction. And so your alarm will just be sitting there fucking ringing all goddamn day. And I'm going to go with one that's just a standard lock. And I think those are about 30-40 bucks. So I mean, they're not terribly expensive. Other options you can do are the big cable locks. When we go on trips when I was a kid, that's what my parents had. They'd always park their bikes under the awning at a hotel or close to a sign or something and wrap that cable lock through the rims on their tires, and they'd chain them together and then chain them around the lock and then the newspaper box or the pillar there at the hotel to prevent somebody from coming up and walking off with their bike. So that's something else you can look into. I'm just going with the quick, cheap, and easy method for security. A couple of miscellaneous things you guys can look at. Hey, Bambi. Couple of miscellaneous things you guys can look at are tool rolls. I know Revzilla's got a couple. They've got one specifically for Harleys and then another for metric bikes. So I'll link to those in the description, but those are nice. And they can pretty much fix anything, or enable you to fix anything on the side of the road, you know, short of a complete engine teardown. So that's nice to have. They come with, you know, all different sizes of wrenches and star sockets and zip ties and a bunch of shit. So I'll post the link down there for those, and also different size bungee cords. You can pick up a pack of bungee cords, you know, at your local hardware store or auto parts store, relatively cheap, or you can order them online. I've got a cargo net that I'm going to be using to secure my luggage to the top of the tour box. And those things are really nice, especially if you've got a tour box. They just loop in and hook to the bars of it and secure your cargo there. So that is what I will be using to keep my luggage in place, because my tour box is going to be full with my computer and camera equipment and gloves and and other accessories, cell phones, all that stuff. And the saddlebags are going to be full of all the other shit, so the luggage has to go on top of the tour box. And I'll do a video before we leave about how I'm packing the bike too, so you guys can see how weighted down this thing is. So I believe that's it for today, guys. If you think I forgot anything, drop it down in the comments. Remember to like, share, subscribe, view multiple times if you'd like. I appreciate the support.